Hey, I'm gonna make a cooking video. The other day my wife came home with an 8.5-pound pork loin, and I wanted to see if I could get 3 different meals out of that. Now the thing was about this big, and I had to figure out what I wanted to do. So the first thing I did was I cut 4 pork chops out of the middle of this guy, and did a little barbecue rub, cooked them up on the cast iron, and those turned out beautifully. So I was left with 2 about 4-pound roasts on either end. So I froze one of them, and then I brined this one for about 8 hours. And took that out, and it's been resting here, drying off. And I have this dry rub here that I'm going to put on here, and I'm going to throw this in the smoker for a couple hours and see how that turns out. Now I've never actually smoked a pork loin. I've smoked tons of pork, so we're going to see how this goes. So first thing I'm going to do is add this spice mixture to the outside of it, and this should be pretty tasty. I kind of had to make do with my rack here. I didn't have a roasting pan large enough, and I'm trying not to leave the house too much these days, so what I'm doing is I just put a chicken rack in here, kind of stretch it out a little bit, and I think that'll be fine. It'll still allow the smoke to get down in underneath here, and that should work out nicely. Now obviously I underestimated how much rub I would need, so we are going to add a little more. Alright, so I went ahead and mixed up a little more rub. The thing about me is I don't really know what I'm doing, so when I'm mixing these together, kind of eyeballed it, came a little short. I'm no master chef by any means. Why are you making a video then? I don't know. Anyhow, so we're just going to coat the rest of this guy on here. I have the smoker fired up. The problem is today it is 33 degrees in Buffalo, so I'm going to have a little trouble getting my smoker up to temperature the way I want it. I'd like it to be about 275. Probably won't get it much past 250, so it's going to be a little longer. I'm going to put the internal probes in. I need this about 140, 145 before I can yank it off of there. So just want to get a few hours of smoke on here. It's not even a bad idea to finish it in the oven if you're worried about it, but I'm just going to let it go and we're going to see what happens. Alright, our pork has rested, our grill is up to temperature, and all I have to do now is put these meat thermometers in here so we can keep track of it. Like I said, I'm going to go for about 140 degrees internal, so I'm going to stick one in there, and I'm going to put a little further down. Wife's laughing at me, but you know, what can you do? I'm making dinner again. So here we go, we're going to throw this out on the smoker and cross our fingers. Alright, we are smoking nicely here, not quite up to the temperature I want, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it on. It doesn't really matter how long it cooks, it just needs to get up to that temperature. So I'm going to throw that on. I'm using a mix of cherry and applewood today, and I got a nice hot water pan going, so hopefully this keeps rising, but I'm going to get that pork in, get it going. Alright, a little over 2.5 hours on the smoker and we are ready to roll. Let's just check this out. It's been sitting here for about 15 minutes. Looks pretty good, I would have to say. So we're going to cut this open. Tell you, I don't know a thing about making cooking videos, but I know a thing or two about my smoker. So let's see how this goes. I don't know what it is about me and filming first time experiences, but we're doing it. I don't know how many you caught what I just did with a knife there. That was pretty awesome. Alright, let's see what we got. Looks good. Little smoke ring. Smells delicious. I know that. I've never prepared a pork loin quite like this, but my wife made up some mashed potatoes and she made her wonderful cranberry sauce that I'm going to put on top of this, and we'll see what's going on here. This fat cap is a little, that didn't look too good. You can edit that out in post, probably not, but yeah, so there you go. Smoked pork loin. There it is, my first ever video. What?
No, the cranberry sauce is like not really in the shot, so I was just like thinking.
Cranberry sauce. There you go. It's in the shot now. Alright. And scene. So as it turns out, as I was cutting down that loin, when I got to actually the smaller portion of it, where the white kind of pork chop meat turns into more of that pinkish ham, it just didn't look cooked. It felt raw, which seemed odd. My temperature probe said 140 and 138, but I wasn't comfortable feeding that to my family, so sliced that out, threw it in the oven, and let that finish off. We'll have that up for leftovers. We're able to have the rest of it. So, you know, there's a reason that people don't make videos about things that they've never cooked before. Not a good idea, but, you know, that's just me finding myself.